I said under general questions on polygons, I will divide it into 2 sessions, and this is the last session under general questions on polygons. Now, question 1. I have given you 3 diagrams, and diagram A, I gave you interior angles, and this is a pentagon because it has 5 sides. To solve a question like this, you always find your sum of interior angles as the first step. So A, step 1, find the sum of interior angle of the polygon. And we know our sum of interior angle as 180 bracket n minus 2. So 180, our number of sides is 5 because it has 5 sides. So 2 subtracted from 5, we are getting 3. And 180 times 3, it becomes 540 degrees. Always do not forget to bring your degree sign. The second step, once we know our sum of interior angle, you sum up these interior angles and equate it to the sum of interior angle. I take it again. Once you know your sum of interior angle for this polygon, you sum up these interior angles and equate it to the sum of interior angle. So step 2, sum up the interior angles of the polygon and equate it to the sum of interior angle. So we add it up, it becomes x plus 2x plus 3x plus 4x plus 70 equal to this sum of interior angle. This sum of interior angle, which is 540. So this plus this 3x, 6x, 10x plus 70 equal to 540. So we group like terms. You let the variable stand at one side of the equation and the one without variable to stand at the other side of the equation. So 10x is equal to 540. Once this crosses the equal sign, it becomes negative. 10x equal to 470. You divide both sides by 10. So this will cancel this. So x is equal to 47 degrees. 47 degrees. Let's move on to B. 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 You see, this diagram too, the angles are outside the plane figure, and angles outside the plane figure is called an exterior angles. And when I was introducing polygons, I said always the sum of exterior angle of any polygon, either it be isocagon, hexagon, heptagon, pentagon, it is equal to 360 degrees. So you now sum this up and equate it to 360 degrees because it is an exterior angle outside a plane figure. So it becomes x plus 2x plus x plus 30 plus 3x plus what? 50 equal to 360 degrees. So x plus 2x, we are getting 3x, 4x, 7x. So 7x plus 30 plus 50 is what? 80 equal to 360 degrees. So we group like terms. It becomes 7x equal to 360 minus. You move this one to the right hand side of the equation, it becomes negative. So 7x equal to 280. You divide through by the coefficient of x, which is 7. 7. This cancel this one, this here one, it becomes what? 4. So x is equal to what? 40 degrees. This means once I substitute 40 in place of x and I sum it up, it will be 360 degrees. So always, if you are given angles outside the plane figure, you must add it up and equate it to 360 degrees. Or they can write the question as the exterior angles of a polygon are, and they will let these angles follow. Find the value of x. When you meet such a question, don't get confused. It's the same question. It's the same question. Now let's move on to diagram C. The third diagram. The third diagram, C. We now have some exterior angle and some of the angles are what? Interior angle. One may ask, this question is wrong, but it's not what? Wrong. It's not wrong. I told you to note that always the sum of interior angle plus adjacent exterior angle sum up to 180 degrees, and I'm going to prove it what? Here. You see, these are interior angles and these are exterior angles. Always when given a question like this, do not touch these exterior angles. I repeat, do not touch these exterior angles, but you should extend this line. You extend it because I said the sum of interior angle and adjacent exterior angle sum up to 180 degrees. So you see, this is interior angle and this is the adjacent exterior angle. This means once you sum this up, you get 180 degrees. This too is the adjacent exterior angle. Once you sum this one up, you get 180 degrees. So you represent it with a variable. Because all the angles should be in exterior angle. So you extend this line and you find the exterior angle for this. That's why I said always the sum of interior angle. Always take note, the sum of interior angle and adjacent exterior angle sum up to 180 degrees. And this is the adjacent exterior angle. While I am extending this. So this is A, this is B. So you calculate for this. So let's solve this. Let's solve for B. Solution. This is simple. Don't get confused. It's simple. So angles on a straight line here and angles on a straight line add up to 180 degrees. It becomes 135 plus B equal to 180 degrees. So B is equal to 180 minus 135. So B is equal to 45 degrees. We now know our what? B, which is 45 degrees. That's the adjacent exterior angle. That's why I said the adjacent exterior angle and the sum of interior angle is equal to what? 180 degrees. Let's work out for A2. It becomes A plus 125 equal to 180 degrees. So A is equal to 180 minus 125. So A becomes 55 degrees. 55 degrees. We now know our exterior angles. That's why I said do not touch the exterior angles. Once we know all the exterior angles, you sum it up and equate it to 360 degrees. So it becomes 45 plus 55 plus we have s plus 40 plus 2x plus 70 degrees. So 45 plus 55 plus s plus 40 plus 2s and plus what? 70 equal to 360. So 45 plus 55, we are getting what? 100. 100 plus 40, 140. And plus 70, 200 and what? 10. Plus x. So this plus this, 100, 140, 210. So plus x plus 2x equal to 360. So we add our x plus 2x, we are getting what? 3x equal to 360. So 3x equal to 360 minus 210. So 3x equal to this from this, we are getting what? 150. 150. Once we are having this in mass, you divide through by the coefficient of what? X. And coefficient of s here is what? 3. This cancels this. And s is equal to 50. So always take notes. Take notes. When you are giving, you see this A and B, they are simple because we know that when giving interior angles, you must first find your sum of interior angle, and after that, you sum up the interior angles and equate it to the sum of interior angle. This one too, they gave you only exterior angles, and we know exterior angles sum up to what? 360 degrees. So you just add this up and you equate it to what? 360. After that, you solve for the what? Variable given. This see, I've given some of the angle to you as exterior and some of the angle to as what? Interior. I said always when you meet questions like this, do not touch the exterior what? Angles, but you work out for the exterior angles that are needed to be calculated. So, as I said, you extend this line because the adjacent exterior angle, the sum of the adjacent exterior angle and interior angle sum up to 180 degrees. And I prove it here. We knowing all the angles to be exterior angle, you sum it up and you equate it to 360. So I had 50 degrees for our x. So it's simple. Do not get disturbed. It's simple. Let's move on to question 2. Question 2. That's why I said this is an application question under what? Polygons. Application questions under polygons. Question 2. The sum of interior angle of a regular polygon is 10 right angles. How many sides has the polygon? How many sides has the polygon? How many sides has the polygon? So this is the keyword. This is the keyword here. Right angle. You ask yourself, what is a right angle? And the right angle is an angle equal to 90 degrees. I haven't started with angles, but you should know. Right angle is an angle which is equal to 90 degrees. So the sum of interior angle, they are saying is 10 right angles. 10 right angles. 10 right angles. This means it becomes 10 times 90. because we know right angle as what? 90. So it's 900 degrees. This is our sum of interior angle. Because this question, if you don't know how to calculate your sum of interior angle, you cannot solve the question. So our SIE is equal to 180. That's the formula. N minus 2, where n is the number of size. Number of size. The sum of interior angle, we know it as 900 equal to 180 n minus 2. So 900 equal to 180 n minus 360. So it becomes 900 plus 360 equal to 180 n. And 900 plus 360, we are getting 1260. 1260 equal to 180 n. You divide both sides by 180 because the coefficient of n is 180. This cancels this, and 18 goes into 1267. You can find out, you can take your calculator and check whether what I'm saying is a lie. N is what? 7. So always, if they give you 10 right angles, and even in a question, when you go and meet 20 right angles, you just multiply the 20 by what? 90. 30 right angles, 30 by what? 90. Once you know your sum of interior angle, you substitute it here and work out for the number of sides. Question 3. The third question. The interior angle of a regular polygon. The interior angle of a regular polygon is twice its exterior angle. Find the number of sides of the polygon. I believe you are enjoying the lesson because I've made everything simple. I've made everything simple. The interior angle of a regular polygon is twice its exterior angle. Find the number of sides. So we write down the formula for this. They are saying interior angle. We are representing this statement in the formula approach. Is equal to what? Twice. The interior angle is, this is the equal sign. Please take note. I said the is the equal what? Sign. Twice, which is 2 times, is exterior angle. That's how you represent it. So I've represented this statement in the numeral, that's formula. And interior angle, we know the formula as 180 n minus 2 over what? N equal to 2 times 360 over n. That's why it was of much importance for I to teach you the formulas for interior angle, exterior angle, and sum of interior angle, because I took it heading by heading when I was shooting my videos. I wanted to make things simple. So once we are having n here, it's a fraction. It's what? A fraction. And a fraction, one may ask, say this, we are not having no number here, but you are saying it's a what? Fraction. And fractions, I said when you are giving the same denominators, you pick one of the numbers as your what? LCM. And we are getting our denominator here as what? N. And since they are same denominators, our LCM becomes what? N. Our LCM for this question is N. And in linear equation, you see I'm applying many topics here. All these topics, I will treat it. In linear equation, once you are having a fraction, you multiply through by the LCM. You multiply through by the LCM to eliminate this denominator. So n, you multiply n by this one. So n by 180. n minus 2 over what? N is equal to 2 times 360 over n times what? N. There is no need to multiply this 2 by n. I know some people will multiply this 2 by n. No. But if here was supposed to be plus or minus, that's when we reach linear equation, when I start teaching it. If here was addition or subtraction, they are used to separate terms. So for that one, you can use this 2 to multiply n, and this one to multiply n. But this case, we are having no subtraction or addition here. So you multiply this whole by what? N. N will cancel this. N cancel this. Now we have eliminated the LCM. That's the denominator. So we have 180 n minus 2 equal to 2 by 360. 180 by n, we are getting 180 n minus this by this 360 equal to 720. So you group like terms. You leave the variable at the left hand side and the one without variable at the right hand side. It becomes 720 plus 360. So 180 n equal to 1080. You can take your calculator and check. Once we are having this, we divide both sides by the coefficient of n, which is 180. And n is what? 6. Here too you can check. N is what? 6. So always, if you are given something like this, they can change this one. It's 3 times. Don't say that your teacher didn't teach you. You just change this one out and write 3. So you bring down your formulas, you find your LCM, and you multiply through by the LCM. Once the denominator is eliminated, you solve for the variable. So let's move on to the last question, question 4. The last question under this session. Let's take our last example, our last question. The last question. The interior angles of a quadrilateral are y, 2y plus 5, y plus 15, and 3y minus 10. Find the value of y. And we know a quadrilateral has 4 sides. Let me use this rectangle to represent this quadrilateral. Let me use this 4 sides. So we have y plus 15, 2y plus 5, and 3y minus 10. This question is the same as this question. When you go and meet a question like this, it's the same as this because these are interior angles. So the first step, as I said, you first find your sum of interior angle when you are given interior angle of a polygon. And the sum of interior angle, the formula is 180 n minus 2, where n is the number of sides. So we have our number of sides to be 4 because a quadrilateral has what? 4 sides. A quadrilateral has 4 sides. Or even when they don't give you a quadrilateral in the question, please take note. If they say the interior angles of a polygon, the interior angles of a polygon, if they may be a polygon, is this, and they don't tell me you don't know the number of sides. You just count these angles. You take this bracket as 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This means we have 4 sides. So n is equal to 4. So 180, 4 minus what? 2. 180 by 2. We are getting 360 degrees. And once we know our sum of interior angle, you equate it to this interior angles. You sum it up and you equate it to the sum of interior angle. So it becomes y plus 2y plus what? 5 plus y plus 15 plus 3y minus 10 equal to 360 degrees. Y plus 2y is what? 3y plus y, 4y. One may ask why y plus 2y is 3y, because always the coefficient of a variable is what? 1. But in maths, we don't bring it because 1 times this variable is equal to this same what? Variable. So y plus 2y is what? 3y plus y, 4y plus 3y is what? 7y. 7y minus 10 equal to 360. So you group like terms. 360 plus 10. So we have 2y, y plus 2y plus 5 plus y plus 15 plus 3y minus 10 equal to what? 360. So we have 7y minus 10. No, we are having 15 here. 15. So we have 7y. 5 plus 15 is what? 20. Minus 10 is what? 10. Minus 10 is 10. Equal to 360. Equal to 360. So you group like terms. 360 minus 10. We are getting 350. So 7 goes to 35, 5. We have 50 degrees. Our answer is 50 degrees. So we've now concluded on polygons. And I believe now we all now have a clear picture on what? Polygons. The general questions on polygons, please always take notes. You will get some of these questions in your exam, similar questions, or even the formula approach. So let's all try and learn the previous videos that I shooted on my YouTube channel. Thank you and